What is going on, guys? My name is Lextasy and welcome back to the channel. This is episode 2 of our 1000 horsepower drag race build with our 2006 Dodge Charger RT Daytona edition. And because of the awesome response on episode 1, which we just posted a few days ago, we are definitely moving along with this build. This is going to be, from what it seems like, an LS swap from what you guys have said in the previous video. Most of you guys wanted to see us do a massive LS swap with a big turbo and 1000 horsepower. And that's exactly what we're going to do, guys, because that's what I'm here for your entertainment and to pop some wheelies on this car. In this video, we are going to be focusing on taking the whole front end off and getting ready to do a motor swap. We got to pull this 5.7 Hemi out of here. By the way, if anybody wants a 55,000 mile, it was a run and drive Charger because we did get it running after the flood with the transmission. We did a full flush on the fluids and everything. Comment down below or Instagram message me and we'll talk about pricing, but I will let it go dirt cheap because, well, the motor was in the way from us doing an LS swap, so it's got to go. But today, we got to get the whole front end off. Also, if you missed the last episode, definitely go watch that before you start watching this one because, well, we did a huge announcement, and that is that we are joining a race team, guys. Adam, that is literally a few shops down from me, is letting us join his team. So we're going to be going to different events. He's got a fully built LS motor, Ford Mustang. He's got another one that's being built. He's got a Camaro, and now we got a Dodge Charger with an LS as well that's joining the team. That's going to be a completely different thing. A lot of people is going to catch off the surprise, and that's exactly what we're aiming for and hoping for. If you missed the last episode, this is an RT with a Hemi 5.7 liter. This is a Daytona, only number 702 out of 4,000 that were ever made, and we are going to keep the dash, but as you can tell, completely gutted because we have to get all the rust out of here. So we used a ton of vinegar to get that out. All that's left is, well, cut up a wiring harness because we're going to be completely redoing the wiring for this. It's going to be a full standalone ECU, and as you can tell, the steering rack is also kind of hanging there, but that is going to be replaced and custom made as well. There's literally going to be no interior on this car. This is as drag race oriented as it's ever going to get. Before we start the teardown process, I wanted to say, guys, thank you so much for all the support throughout the years. We're so close to 10,000 subscribers, so if you haven't subscribed yet, definitely click that button down below because next year it's going to get wild. We got the Charger, we got the twin turbo R8 that we are fixing again. I don't want to talk about it. We have the Dodge Durango Hellcat that hopefully my wife is almost at the point of letting me do a whipple on it. Imagine 1100 horsepower Durango Hellcat flying through on the track. Let the real fun begin, ladies and gentlemen. So what I love about Chrysler products, or even Fords for that matter, and Chevys, anything American, is that most of the parts, especially the front end, is on bolts, which will make it super easy for us to take this front bumper off. The headlights should be super simple. I see a few clips up here, then a few bolts, and obviously the same thing just to get this off. But if I'm not mistaken, hold on, isn't this, I think this is already, yes, it is loose, because I remember when it came from Copart, it already had an issue. Look at that, there's a broken tab there. But so, well, we're already halfway there taking that bumper off, but we'll take all these poppets out of here, or whatever clips, and move on to everything. Shouldn't take long at all. We'll drain all the fluids. When it comes to the body panels, we are going to try to keep as much of this original as possible to make it really a sleeper in the way until you start it up and you hear everything. The only damage we're going to do to the body panels is going to be a side exit exhaust here, just to make it really stand out and you know, not have to mess with having to pipe it all the way back to the back of the car. I want to give you guys a quick life hack. This will save you so much time whenever it comes to putting something back together, especially working on cars. I don't care how big or small the project is. Get yourself a box of Ziploc bags, guys. This and a Sharpie, and every time you take bolts off, so if we're going to take bumper bolts off, we'll just write it down on our plastic bag. You know, bumper bolts, put it in there, you're good to go. Just put it to the side, have like a big box of plastic bags, and then it's super simple to put everything back, especially when you're going to be tearing the motor out. I know we're not going to reuse it, but a lot of the brackets and things like that, we'll know where the bolts went and where to get them from. What do you think of that progress, guys? That was literally maybe an hour or so worth of work to take off everything. I'm talking about starting with the bumper, going to the headlights, then taking the upper radiator support, the bottom radiator support, the hood. The biggest thing left to take care of before we start really pulling the motor is we got to free up more space here, which means getting rid of the washer tank, the ABS system, because obviously we're not going to use it, so we need to disconnect these lines right here, the metal lines, and we're going to kind of bend them out of the way. The expansion tank can stay because I can see clearance in between there. Also got to get underneath there to the drive shaft side of things and unhook that so the trans, everything comes out together. By any chance, any of you guys have a Gen 4 aluminum block 5.3 laying around, as long as it's got good compression, I need it with 243 heads if possible, or a well, I think we got the transmission figured out, so I'm not worried about that, but the engine is the big thing. Ladies and gentlemen, so now we finally got this thing to Adam's shop here because, well, the next part of actually pulling pulling the motor. It gets a little tough doing it on the floor, so we figured why not use the lift and be able to jack it up. And then, are you thinking to take the trans and the engine out at the same time, man? What are you thinking?
Yeah, we'll pull everything together.
Oh, Nate over here is already kind of mocking stuff up, even though there's a Hemi, but you thinking there?
I don't know.
Because we're gonna run, I think, what'd you say, twins, right?
Yeah.
Are they 65s, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, that's a 78, 75.
Jesus.
But
Twins of those, that would take forever to spool up.
it's all in the converter, baby.
That is also true. Before we get it all jacked up, man, here's the stuff we're going to be running. So this is the Holley EFI. We're going to be doing a Terminator, right? That's what you said, Holley Terminator? Yeah. So that'll be the kit for the wiring and everything for the powertrain itself. And then we're doing the race wire for the wiring. And look at this. So this is not for my car yet. We'll have an order. This is for another build that we're also doing. We're going to have like 3 or 4 cars ready this year or next year for race season. That's going to be the switch panel for the auxiliary, the fuel pump, the starter, everything to run my car pretty much. So that looks so sick, man. It's officially going to be a race car, and I'm super excited to do it. But the next step is the fun part. Oh God, I'm leaking all kinds of stuff on Adam's floor, man. I apologize, bro. So Adam actually had a really good idea, man. He was like, yo, what if we weigh this thing and see what it weighs with the motor as it sits? Now the interior, of course, is gutted, so that should weigh a little bit. From factory, this thing weighs about 3,800 pounds, 3,900, almost 4,000. But we're gonna use these special scales. I don't know how they call it, high performance scales or whatever. We're gonna see how much this thing weighs with the motor, and then once we pull the motor out. Adam, what are you thinking right now? As it sits, gutted interior, if it weighed almost 4,000 from factory, what are you thinking it weighs?
3,400 pounds.
34, what are you thinking, Nate?
3,480.
God, man, why y'all stuck at that? I was thinking closer to 3, but I guess I'm a little too optimistic about that.
I swear this Hemi is heavier than the LS.
The Hemi, the motor?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet it is. Because this says the Gen 4 LS is 120 pounds lighter than the Gen 3.
Yeah,
from the car star. Yeah, bro, that's a big difference, man.
There really is a big difference. A lot of people like the aluminum stuff.
Yeah.
Just look at it this way. The less weight you got up front to start with is the less weight you got to add into a no-prep car in the rear.
Oh, I didn't think about that. That's actually good, man. Wow.
What ass spanking you gonna do?
All right, so with the front end missing as well, because we took the clip off, or I took the clip off, the hood's off, a lot of the interior, I'm gonna say 3,300 pounds, somewhere in 3,300. We'll see what it says. Most of the fluids that have been taken out of the car also, well, they leaked out. That's my fault there, but let's go ahead and put these scales on, because we got to figure out what the weight is, right? Power to weight is important whenever you're racing. Already have a disadvantage by using a Charger body instead of like a Fox body or a Mustang body or, you know, a Corvette, something like that. So how much do you think that weighs?
That thing's like 2 Coke cans and a rock. Honestly, rolling, that thing's probably gonna be 1,700 pounds.
No freaking, with the motor?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
man.
that car finish will be in the 2,700 range.
Dude, oh wow, I have such a big disadvantage. That's like 1,000 pounds heavier than everybody else. Wow, well, I guess it helps with traction, but at the same time, I'm gonna be finding a lot of weight. Didn't think about that part, but I love my Mopars, man. I'll be different, that's fine. Oh, survey says. Oh boy. Oh, dude, no way. Oh God. I wish it would stop climbing right about now.
Yeah.
Jesus, man. Oh, did I? No, dang it. I missed it. I missed it. Hey, get off the car, man. No way. Oh, 34.
What'd I say?
Get off the freaking car, bro.
What'd I say?
Let's see, 30, 34.50, bro. Wow. Wow, man, 34. So we saved about 500 pounds just by having no front clip and the interior is gutted. That's a big deal. Hey, is it true where they say like, was it every 100, 200 pounds is like a tenth of a second?
When you get to a certain point of how fast you're going.
Really?
Yeah.
So at this point, as it sits, I have a 500 pound disadvantage than everyone else, or more than that, right?
Yeah, they're a whole lot more power than they are. So.
That's true. Yeah, that's the game point. Heavier car, but a lot more power. Let's see if something goes crazy right now. I think we got it. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. The only thing we're probably going to find out is what we forgot to disconnect. Or I forgot to disconnect. That's the only.
Oh, we got saws on for you.
That's right. By the way, it's Adam's birthday, and he's working on the Charger today at like 8 o'clock at night, man. That's what I'm talking about. I knew this was the right people here because we take racing seriously. Somebody forgot to unhook the starter cables.
I said, hey, Nate, pop the shit.
No, I said, no, it's all coming up together.
Looks like Adam knows what he's doing for the right place.
I'll be the hatred of the internet. start LS swapping.
This was his idea, by the way, so yeah. I was like, Hellcat guys, and he was like, no, dude, trash. That's all trash.
Yeah, he kind of.
I couldn't remember.
We found some tubular. We found a tubular subframe for this thing, and Adam kind of got the finger with that one.
Yeah, so it says that they will build you custom mounts and stuff, and I was like, well, you know, maybe it'll save me some time. I called them and I said, hey guys, I see your tubular K member, it looks pretty nice. And they make a manual rack for the newer cars, and if I'm not mistaken, that rack is the same width as this rack. And we'll measure it because the guy told me the measurements already from Flaming River. So we'll measure the bolt holes. If it is the same, then we can get rid of this and put a manual steering rack in this car, get rid of power steering altogether.
Oh, nice, okay.
And it'll make it a little more user-friendly.
Yep, I mean,
I called about the tubular K member for this thing, and got the guy on the phone. He said, yeah, we make them for him. He said, what swap? Hemi swap, Gen 3, Gen 4 Hemi?
Yeah.
I said, Gen 4 LS, and they kind of got quiet. And he said, you'll have to do your own, buddy. We don't do that.
I wonder how many people are going to piss off with this build, honestly.
I'll say a few.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. All right, guys, we're getting all this wiring harness out of here, man, because this alone is probably another 20, 30 pounds, because we don't need it. The harness with the engine is going to go with it, so I'll sell that separate, but all this trash needs to go. Look at all this trash right there, just to make an 06 Charger run. That's insane how much stuff they put in here. And we are going to be keeping the brace inside, guys. I cleaned off that rust as much as I could. It looks a lot better. We're going to put the other dash back in here with the Daytona badge on there. The switch panel is going to go in here.
Big relay box in.
Yep.
The switch panel will be inside, and of course the relay box will run all the outside lights, all the auxiliary stuff. It'll turn the ignition on, turn the Holly on. We can wire it up to run the fans, but the Holly will do all that.
Oh wow, okay.
It'll run like fog lights, and if we decide to do any kind of water tank or any stuff like that, it will have.
Did you say fog lights? So like literally all the windows, everything's gonna work?
Yeah, all the windows.
Brake lights.
Brake lights will work.
That's awesome, guys.
Your car, have turn signals and everything.
So we can literally drive it on the street if we wanted to, right? Wow.
Oh yeah, center walls look good on it.
Yeah.
Crosshatch.
Yeah.
That is all the way.
She's looking good, guys. And just like that, guys, we're back at our shop. The engine is out. This bad boy just looks so freaking good. It's ready for that heart transplant. We got the nice motor sitting here with the transmission. I'm pretty sure these cats are worth a lot of money, not to mention the full bore exhaust as well. It looks like it's, I guess you can say catback, but not really. I think it's after that. So in the next episode, you're going to see a 5.3 sitting here, ready to be rebuilt with new head studs, so new head gaskets. We're going to do the whole head work and everything like that. We should have a transmission in here also. We're going to have a lot of parts coming in next episode. We're going to start fitting it, making sure it actually works in here. We're going to have to get the universal motor mounts and everything like that and customize them and build them. And what we're thinking is if the turbos are going to sit right here and one on that side, we're going to run the exhaust underneath the fender here, and then it's going to run below here and then it come out right here through center exhaust. It's going to look so freaking good. It's going to be so rowdy. Still street legal though, because we're going to have all the safety equipment in here and everything. So I'm really excited. I've never done a project on this level, on this magnitude, so I'm really interested to see how the whole process goes. And as you can tell, Adam and the whole team is awesome. Super thankful that they allowed me to join their team. There's going to be a lot of racing, a lot of street racing, a lot of stuff happening on this channel that I think you guys are going to really enjoy. I think with this motor, that motor has to weigh at least 500-600 pounds with the transmission. If that's the case, this thing right now as it sits should probably weigh less than 3,000 pounds. So that is it's good news. We shaved 1,000 pounds off. We're going to have to put a few hundred pounds back in, but from this point on, we're going to be building the wiring harness, the Holley EFI, everything's going to be coming in. And LS, guys, LS swapped the world. I can't believe I'm saying that right now, being a Mopar guy, but here we are. Sometimes you just can't beat an LS motor, and that is what we're going to experience on this channel together. For the most part, it will be a budget-friendly build, so we're planning maybe 10 to 13,000 out the door to have a fully modified 900 horsepower drag race car. So if content like this is what you enjoy, definitely subscribe, because it's just going to get way more wilder from this point on. And I think in a week and a half or so, we're heading out to a street race. We're joining our crew together, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy your lives, enjoy your cars, and I will see you next episode. Peace.